2 rounds of Jose Cuervo. Another week is in the books of the NFL season. More crazy trades have happened. More crazy games have happened. Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers washed? Are the Carolina Panthers the new kings of the NFC South? No. We're not. Let's not get crazy now. But It is another episode of Joe's on the Pros, back with the NFL talk. We've got Andrew, Brennan, myself, and JR all here for another great episode. Gentlemen, it feels good to be back, all four of us together for the second straight episode. If you watched our World Series episode, all four of us were together. But our first NFL episode.
This episode's going up before the World Series episode. So
then you'll see Walker is him.
PJ Walker is. Russell Wilson is not.
Russell Wilson needs to go for a ride.
Can we? Also, who's not? Matt Ryan is not. He's benched for the year until Ellinger also craps it up.
Sam Ellinger,
old and washed. Poor Matt Ryan.
I was expecting so much more out of him this year. I really was.
Yeah, you know what? Age is funny. When it comes for you, it comes for you.
Apparently, it doesn't come for Tom Brady.
You know who's not washed, though?
It is coming for Tom Brady.
You know who's not washed? Joey Shiesty, Joe Burrow. Man's looking great.
That's true.
Had a wobble at the beginning of the season. Day 0-2. Day now found their way to play.
That's true. And the fact that the Ravens haven't been able to hold a double-digit lead in a lot of their games means that division's still up for grabs. Like, I think I saw a stat where the Ravens have had a double-digit lead in every one of their games. They could easily be undefeated right now, along with the Eagles, but they're hovering around. What are they 4-3? I think right now. Yeah,
4-3.
They could have. They could have taken the division by the horns, but they didn't. But can we also talk about how? Can we also talk about how this week was just a roller coaster of emotions for me? I start the week out losing Christian McCaffrey to a trade, and then end the week. Sorry, Aiden. Just absolutely destroying Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Let's not get.
Did you score a touchdown?
Okay.
Did you score a touchdown?
I mean, they were like one of the most atrocious drops I've seen in a while.
But did they score? But did they score a touchdown?
Also, I want to, on that drop, I want to launch into just a brief diatribe about it. Okay. So
it was a bad drop.
Football league at work, very competitive fantasy football league. We have slightly changed scoring. Big plays are worth more, right? So the catch, 1 point, PPR, right? 75 yards, 7.5 or 8.5 points. The touchdown, that's 6, okay? So we're at 14.5 points, not to mention the plus 5-point bonus you get for a touchdown of 50 or more. I lost by freaking 17 points. I would have won if he had caught and scored.
If
that reminds me of like in the past on, I can't talk right now, NFL.com, Dave Damashek did the NFL. I don't know if you guys ever saw those videos.
Yes.
Those are some of the greatest videos I've ever seen. I think one of my favorites was what would have happened if the Panthers got Andrew Luck instead of Cam Newton. That was one of the ones. So it was interesting.
I apologize in advance. But I need Giselle to figure whatever is going on in her life and fix Tom. I need her to fix Tom.
It ain't Tom.
It ain't Tom. It's not his fault Evans dropped the ball.
Tom's old, but Tom is still playing at a level that is unreasonable for a guy's age. It's the offense. This boring, bland, white bread offense is this team's problem. It's the scheme. It's how this team is run. Tom Brady's only been sacked, twice this year?
But Tom Brady can do this. Hold on. Tom Brady can do this thing called audible.
That doesn't change the fact that the original play call is
okay. But let's even go back to
how much can he audible to with the playbook?
Hold on. Let's even go back to the Steelers game before this week, where the Bucs, the Steelers had their top 4 defensive backs out, and you don't target your top 2 receivers more than 3 times in that entire game, and you expect to win a game?
Play calling.
Yeah,
No, that's targeting. That's Tom not reading.
No, it's not. You don't snap. All right, Mike Evans. You go snap. What's this play's first read, second read, third read?
Yeah, each individual passing play has its progressions of what routes you look to first, second, third, etc.
No, I fully know this. I'm just an overreacting Bucs fan
it's
right
the
now.
scheme that's the problem.
Oh,
Not
I'm
even
fully
Tom
aware
Brady.
of it.
Peyton Manning at his peak. No great quarterback is walking out onto the field and just going, "All right, I'm winging it."
It's true. It's Tom Brady is not the problem. Although there was that one drive where they were inside the 10, first and goal, and there was 3 straight incomplete passes, and a couple of them did not look good.
He's old.
But that one drive aside, it wasn't that throw to Mike Evans. That was not Tom Brady's fault. He put it where he needed to. Mike Evans just dropped
His
it.
team is fundamentally broken right now.
But you know what team is not broken?
The Eagles?
The Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith, baby.
Man, if you had told me that Geno Smith would be outperforming Russell Wilson, I would have called you crazy.
You know what? This isn't going to happen. But I feel like sometimes I can catch glimpses of the future, the NFL future. And I saw myself a vision of Geno Smith hoisting a Lombardi. Will it happen? No. But it is the storyline I'm choosing to root for.
That's a Cinderella story if you ever heard one.
I want it so bad. I want it better than anything. And right now, the Seahawks look like they could actually win the West because right now, the other 3 teams are running around like the 3 Stooges with like a bucket on their head bumping into each other, while the Seahawks are quietly have one of the best offenses in the league right now. They are just shelling people.
They need to make sure they get a healthy DK Metcalf back, though.
True.
And they need to step up on defense too. Their defense is still kind of
Pete Carroll teams tend to trend upwards on defense as the season progresses. They either start off average and end great, or start off bad and end average. And if this defense can end average, they're in a really good spot.
I still say I am still sticking with my preseason pick of the Cardinals coming out of that division. Now that they've got Nuke Hopkins back, that offense is going to look a whole lot different with him there with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but your one game with him was against the Saints. You can't really base anything off of that.
Yeah, but they're in a division where you got 2 4-3 teams and 2 3-4 teams. I mean, nobody's run away with it in this first 6
honestly,
or 7
you
games.
got to think. I like San Francisco in the safe hands of Jimmy Garoppolo and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey with a full week to understand the playbook. You still got Debo there. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, who knows how to win.
I love how Jimmy Garoppolo has spent his entire time back as a starter for San Francisco, proving me right on why he is not a good starting quarterback in the NFL. He is not accurate. He is not an accurate thrower. He is not a smart thrower either. He makes bad decisions constantly.
But Jimmy, you know what? When you have Christian McCaffrey and you can just throw 5-yard checkdowns, you don't need to be smart. Or
he's a handicap for that team.
I mean, to be fair, when you have the weapons that you do around him, it kind of masks that a little bit.
It does until it doesn't, because they lost in the playoffs last year because of Garoppolo. I maintain that belief.
I still think the 49ers end up winning the division just because I don't have faith in the Rams right now. They're kind of scrambling. I think the Seahawks will fall just short, and I don't trust the Cardinals at all. They're way too erratic right now. They haven't done anything consistently so far.
It's up for grabs, though. It's definitely up for grabs. That division is completely up for grabs.
And let's mention the one team you haven't talked about here. You want to talk about teams that are broken right now? The Rams are broken.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Something is really broken with that offense.
Doesn't Matt Stafford still lead the league in interceptions?
He's thrown 9.
That's close to the top.
And you keep getting this feeling that at some point they're going to sign Odell Beckham back to come back.
Not if he doesn't go to Kansas City first.
I know that, and I
not if he doesn't go to Tampa first.
I think they may have waited too long to go ahead and lock him up.
Point of reference: Stafford has 8 interceptions. The league leader is Matt Ryan with 9. But Matt Ryan also has 3 more touchdowns than Stafford does, 9-6. So.
Who could have seen that coming with Matt Ryan?
Oh my gosh. I was like, Am I reading that correctly? Is he really benched for the whole season? Do you really believe that he's being benched for the whole season in favor of Sam Ehlinger?
No.
I think that the Colts are competitively retooling their roster the rest of the year.
That's an MLB term that's an eMLB term.
Competitively retooling your roster. You're trying to get a high draft pick, but you're not going to tank. No, you're not tanking. You're competitively retooling your roster.
Is this another aggressive mediocrity thing?
I cannot claim credit for making this one up, so no.
This is absolutely a play by Frank Reich to guarantee that he gets to come back next season by going with the younger quarterback now instead of waiting. And the ownership would be much more likely to say, all right, we're going to move on and start a whole new chapter at the end of the season. And he can kind of marry himself to Sam Ehlinger. And if he plays well, then they're going to want to keep him in place with him to continue.
I like
he's hedging his bets or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, if Sam Ehlinger does great, I made a great call. If Sam Ehlinger doesn't do great, oh, it was just a young quarterback that doesn't have any experience. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
I think it's the right move. I think Matt Ryan's washed.
I hate when it really is sad when you watch Father Time finally come for a good player. Like it comes for everyone eventually. That last season for a lot of players is depressing to watch.
You know what else is depressing to watch?
What?
JR's record in these predictions.
Okay, wait. Before we go into that, I want to say one more thing about Matt Ryan. It's not all his fault. He is tied for second in the league in the most time sacks with, by the way, JR's Joe Burrow. The league leader is Justin Fields at 27. So I don't put all of the blame on Matt Ryan for his performance. His offensive line has not helped him at all. When you are under pressure, you are going to make more erratic throws, and I think that has led to his interceptions. I think he also has a ton of fumbles as well.
I believe he leads the league in fumbles as well.
I think he leads the league in fumbles, but the fact that he keeps getting hit as much as he has, I think has contributed to it. And I don't think Ehlinger is going to fare much better as a result.
No.
And the reason he keeps getting hit like he does is partly because he's a statue back there.
Well, there's that because he's old.
He's one of the last two statues, and we are watching the last season of the statue quarterback. The last, like an endangered species that is about to go extinct. The statue quarterback is gone.
Yeah,
it's Brady and Ryan.
The pocket passer are not going to be around much longer.
Well, every single quarterback, with the exception of those two, has the ability to move. Like not it's on varying scales. Not everybody is Lamar Jackson, obviously, but everyone else now, every other starting quarterback can move.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers has always been able to move.
Yeah, he moves around.
He's always been able to move.
That's fair.
I'm not saying guys who like run read option, obviously.
No.
But a guy who the minute the play starts to break down, you're like, fuck, we're done. You know, there's only two left.
I mean, to be fair, Tom Brady is really good at getting all the ball out quick, whether or not it's to his receiver or not.
Of course.
Making sure he avoids getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's good at doing that, so that's to his credit.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, Aiden, you were saying about JR's picks.
They've been rough this season. Let's take a look at. Are we going to start with the standings or last week's?
Oh, we're going to start with last week's results, but I will point out JR was not the worst this week.
No, that title belongs to Brennan.
Why do you keep saying Brennan? He's got a D in his name.
Well, he's not smart enough to see the D.
I feel like there was a bad joke in there, and I'm not going to have you guys repeat it. I don't know what you said, but we're not going to repeat it. Oh, Aiden had to fix the standings side over there. I saw that.
So
I just want to point out the freaking Bears kept me from going 5-0. Like, who honestly expected the Bears to play like that on Monday night?
None of us.
None of us. I legit thought I had a 5-0 week. I was so dang close. But alas, I did not.
So if it wasn't for the two members of Here's Why You're Wrong, we would have had all of our locks correct and all of our underdogs correct.
We were close.
Yeah, that was a pretty close week.
It seemed
But
like a good idea.
we kind of guaranteed that one of us was going to get something wrong because JR and Brendan picked opposite on the same game. So
it's true. So we see where we're all at. Let's take a look at the standings after week 7.
Trying to scroll on the wrong screen.
There we go.
We're on the way up, baby.
Andrew was 4-1, putting him at 20-10. I was 3-2, so I'm up to 16-14, finally cracking above 500. Brendan was 2-3, matching me at 16-14, and JR slowly creeping his way back in, only 6 games behind Brendan and myself.
I'm just 2 perfect weeks away from 500.
2 perfect weeks away from 500. Speaking of perfect weeks,
I'm trying to think. I'm starting to think of punishments I'm going to make JR do.
I know.
I think he floated the best punishment.
I don't think I'm going to make him do that. I think I have to do something related to our Cardinals-Reds rivalry.
Yeah, that's true, but
but again, that's not football related. So I'm trying to think of
like I said,
something that might be football
already floated the best punishment.
Hey, there's still a lot of weeks left in the season here.
There is
true, but you're also very far behind.
And with a lot of weeks, that includes week 8, which has some very interesting matchups that we have to decipher. And
they look better than last week's, that's for sure, in terms of the primetime games. Although I will say, Sunday Night Football looked a lot better at the beginning of the season than it does now.
Yeah, Packers have been on a big-time slide.
But we'll talk about that game in a moment. Let's start with game number 1. My Buccaneers hosting the Baltimore Ravens. I will be in attendance at this game.
Oh, you're going to the game?
I'm going to the game tomorrow.
Wait, isn't it in Baltimore, or did I flip the home and away? I flipped the home and away. My bad. There, now it's right.
There we go.
Sorry, my bad.
Maybe
I flipped home and away.
Also, you did it for Packers Bills too. You need to flip it too.
I thought Green Bay was home.
No, it's Green Bay home.
No, Buffalo's home.
No, it's in Buffalo. Womp womp.
Oh yeah, all right. It was in Buffalo.
Well,
he got Monday night right. So he's 1 for 3.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Apparently.
Apparently not. So week 6 or week 8. Sorry, did you put week 6?
It was a copy and paste from the week.
Dude, man,
it's struggling this week.
I think we need to find a new editor.
Wow.
Guaranteed that that you're not going to find someone as good as me that you don't have to pay.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. For our budget, you're probably the best we got.
For a budget of nothing.
All right. So week 8, game 1, Ravens heading to Tampa. Tampa are 1-point favorites according to the spread.
Go ahead, Aiden. Do it. Just do it.
I really, really, really am struggling because the Bucs look like dog shit.
Because the Bucs are struggling.
But I'm going to the game. My juju is going to wear off on them. It's going to be good. They're going to win. Everything will be fine. We'll right the ship. It'll be okay.
Just go ahead and pencil me down for the Ravens.
Are you not even going to say anything about it?
I'll let you guys explain because I'm pretty sure you're going to be in agreement with me.
Aiden, I got to tell you, I'm rooting for the Buccaneers because clearly I can't stand the Ravens. Also, because I have Leonard Fournette and Chris Godwin on my fantasy team, and Daddy needs a win.
Hey,
this week.
Check down Lenny in a PPR league has been amazing this year.
But they're not going to beat the Ravens.
I'm sorry. As the Panthers fan who just watched the Bucs play the Panthers, it's not going to get better against the Ravens. I'm sorry.
By the way,
you're doing your
say 31-10.
Wow.
That juju that he brings will get him a touchdown.
I think it'll be a closer game than that because I think the Bucs defense will step up a little bit, but I just don't see them.
I'm banking on a couple turnovers and short fields.
I say 34-17.
You're thinking the Juju brings 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think watching Devontae Foreman and Chuba Hubbard run all over that defense that was supposed to be good against the run, I think Lamar Jackson's going to do even more damage on the ground.
Lamar Jackson, whoever is the running back.
And apparently they have Mark Andrews at quarterback, and they pitch it to Lamar. You guys see that play where Mark Andrews was under center and he pitched it to Lamar Jackson? Like, oh, they're literally using him as a running back now.
Yeah, this team is ridiculous. I love it.
All right, Aiden, what do you think the score is going to be?
I got nothing to say, but I'm praying.
Come on, give us a score.
Do you want the score that my heart says or what I want?
I want your heart.
Do you want the heart or the thought?
Heart.
Well, you
Heart
picked
says,
the heart.
Heart says 41-10. Bucks absolutely blow out the Ravens as a revenge game for what the Panthers did to us. Brain says 27-24. Ryan Suckup kicks a late field goal.
That's actually reasonable, honestly. Now, again, I talked earlier about how the Ravens have had a 10-point lead in every single game and have blown 3 of them. So that could very well could happen in this game because we know Tom Brady is good as
24. They made 24-10 at one point in time and then just give it up.
Yeah, something like that.
just be ready for lots of texts in the group chat, gentlemen.
As the night gets on, it gets slowly like less able to understand what Aiden's saying.
Do you guys want to just go ahead and fill in the Buffalo for the next column?
Yeah,
fill in the Buffalo.
Yeah, just next game, Buffalo. We don't really have to talk about this one. Aaron Rodgers is one of the living versions of downhill quarterback play.
Yeah,
go ahead.
This ain't him. I will never understand how an organization like the Packers can so thoroughly neglect their offense. They're like, we have Aaron Rodgers. Everything's okay. No, you still have to fucking put a good product on the field.
And Andrew, I'm sure for this next game you can just pencil JR in. We already know where he's going.
That's not even a pencil at that point. That's a chisel and hammer just permanently etching it in there. But I mean, we're not moving on to that game. I just want to point out, I want to say that if we did power rankings, I would actually have Buffalo as number 1 over the undefeated Eagles right now. I think they are playing better than the Eagles.
Yeah.
I could probably go that way. Yeah. I mean,
I can get behind that.
Buffalo's got so much offensive firepower and their defense has played great too.
Although I will say, look out for the Chiefs because they have been on a mission ever since they lost to the Bills.
Yeah. They just completely eviscerating the 49ers was fun to watch.
Yeah, and the Packers likely slipping to 3-5, coming closer and closer to the notion of completely missing the playoffs and the Vikings taking that division.
Bet Rodgers is regretting that multi-year contract now.
But he's regretting a lot of things.
Wonder if he's going to demand a trade in the offseason. That'll be interesting.
I could not care less.
Good luck with that.
He looks fine.
Taking on that contract.
He looks like Aaron Rodgers still. It's not him that's the problem. It's never been him that's the problem. I just don't understand why this team, and this team in particular over any other, I mean, you can argue the Ravens too for what I'm about to say, but completely neglects the receiver position. They're like, you guys, random street free agents, you're our guys. Let's go. Get out on the field.
Or they like the Packers trade away Devontae Adams, the Ravens trade away Hollywood Brown.
And it's hurting the Ravens this year, by the way. One of the reasons the Ravens passing offense has struggled at times this year is because the receiving core is garbage. Why are 2 of what are supposed to be among the better offensive teams in the league refusing to address the pass catchers?
Well, and I mean, you know what? Partly it goes back to though is that them signing Aaron Jones to the extension that they did. I mean that, to spend that much on the running back position when you're gonna be spending a ton of money on Aaron Rodgers. I mean that's a huge that duo there for your cap. I mean you
not only re-signing Aaron Jones to that contract, but not really using him when they should either. Like there were multiple times where they should have run the ball with him and they chose to try to pass instead.
Yeah, to spend that kind of money on a running back when you still even have A.J. Dillon there that you could be using instead. I mean, it goes to your point, Brendan, but it's just that's where they've put the money in the wrong place.
Now, to be fair, Aaron Jones made a pretty darn good catch against the Commanders this past week, but they still lost. So how much does that help? All right, enough about the Packers' woes. Let's go on to Bengals at the Browns.
Monday night,
you can go first.
Monday Night Football, Halloween night. Dog Pound is going to get put down by the Houday Nation, who I will remind you the defense has still not given up a second half touchdown throughout the entire season. And that will continue. That will continue here in this game. And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are on the same page now, which means danger, NFL, danger.
It also means my fantasy team is very happy. Houday, they about to win another game. Give me the Bengals.
Well, what happened was that the NFL cornerbacks read that story about how Jamar Chase apparently doesn't like to shower, and so they've just been refusing to cover him because they can't stand the way he smells. Chase catches 3 touchdowns. Burrow throws 5. Bengals win 38-7.
It's just another sweep. I can't choose the Browns here. I'm sorry. Nothing that the Browns have done recently has any faith that they will beat the Bengals, other than maybe Nick Chubb. I think they've also had a couple of injuries on the defensive side.
I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball this week. I think that they're going to get down early, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, and Jacoby Brissett does not scare me as a quarterback either.
Jacoby Brissett is a perfectly fine quarterback if you have a team that's built to win. This is not a team that is built to support a quarterback. It needs a quarterback to support it.
Take Jacoby Brissett, put him in San Francisco, and we're having a different conversation.
Yes, we are.
I can get on board with that. Although I will say I'm glad that the Panthers and Sam Darnold aren't playing on Halloween, or else we might be talking about seeing ghosts again.
Oh my God, I wish that was happening.
Sorry, I had to make the Halloween joke.
Oh my God.
That was bad. I know.
All right.
Here's the fun part.
We talked about it pre-game. We talked about it pre-show. I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud here. I do not think we should be allowed to do double-digit favorites for locks. I think 7 points is too many. I will give the double-digit.
Let's do the double-digit, which will eliminate one game this week, and that is making Aiden upset because that was the game he was going to pick.
Well, it doesn't eliminate the game. It just eliminates one team of the game.
That's true. You could pick the upset if you wanted to, Aiden.
I'm not stupid. No matter how stupid I look, I'm not that stupid.
Let's see, what game was that? That was
Steelers.
Eagles over the Steelers 10.5. Yeah. So we are not picking the Eagles as winners this week. And I was not here last week for the picks, but I do agree with your format of whoever picks first in the lock has to pick last in the underdog. So how do we want to do the order this week?
Let's go standing order the way we're on camera. So
you want me to go first for the lock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my lock, I've been kind of going back and forth. I actually talked funny thing enough, I was going to pick the Colts to beat the Commanders. They are 3-point favorites. But I talked myself out of it when I realized how bad the Colts offensive line was and that I don't think they're going to be able to protect Sam Ehlinger. So I pivoted from there, and I'm looking through these games. I'm like, which one? I'm going to go with where I know I've used them before on here. The Tennessee Titans over the Houston Texans.
2-point favorites on the road.
Won 4 in a row. They're 4-2 now atop that division.
They are looking pretty darn good right now. And it's also another one of those, I don't really trust the Texans.
The team's really recovered after getting shelled by Buffalo.
It's true. And with the Texans, it's 2 weeks in a row now that I'm picking the team that's playing the Texans. I just don't trust the Texans right now.
I mean, no real good reason to.
Yeah.
Aiden?
Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Denver Broncos.
In London.
in London.
So you there's no way to not pick the Jaguars in London.
Yeah.
You have to pick them.
It's a home game for them. It's a home game.
It really is.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I was actually going to move on to my thing, but then I realized we're still talking about this one, so go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that when do you guys think, or will it ever happen? And if it does, when will the Jacksonville Jaguars move to London as their permanent home?
Within the next 5 seasons.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's going to happen. Yeah, I'm kind of on board with Aiden there. Although this talk about like having a completely European division is kind of like, what? That has been rumored to be talked about within Goodell's office, that in order to make it more reasonable for a London team to have a completely London division so that they're not having to travel to the United States to play all of their games, and that they'll just travel within Europe for all of their divisional games. But that's a really large undertaking. I don't know if I see that happening before Jacksonville actually becomes a London team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch over the next couple of years and see how they do it.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing that happening.
So I'm surprised Andrew has deviated from this tried and true sound strategy for the most part. I mean, last week wouldn't have been, but for the most part, it's been good.
I know what you're going for.
You should always pick the team that the Carolina Panthers are playing. It's a safe bet.
The only reason you're doing it this week is because it's the Falcons.
It is, absolutely. The Falcons are a team that they lose one, win one, lose one, win one. Like that's kind of like this team. They are 500. They're a 500 team. They're getting ready to play one of the few teams that truly is more talent poor than they are. And I think this is gonna be a nice little opportunity just for them to run all over them, control the clock, win 21-10. Nothing exciting. This will be a boring ass game, but they'll win.
I've pivoted from choosing the team that plays the Panthers to the team that plays the Texans, and it's worked so far. All right, JR, what you got?
So I was going back and forth between 2 games, and one of them was the Falcons over the Panthers. So with that pick off the board, I'll go ahead and take the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. I know the Bears just had that very surprising win on Monday Night Football against the Patriots, but the Cowboys now, I know Dak was knocking some rust off this past week, but they still got a lot of weapons with that team. They're back to a little bit more full strength now. I think they get a nice easy win at home.
Even after the performance the Bears put up against the Patriots this week?
Yeah, I think that the Bears are just one of those teams that's up and down, week in, week out. They look okay one week, look like trash the next. I think they're going up against a much more talented Cowboys team this week.
Fair enough. All right, now you got to back that up with your underdog, the snake draft format. yeah, the snake. Oh, yeah. So they're picking the dogs.
There's some intriguing lines here this week, with some of these teams that are favorites that are underdogs that are kind of surprising, being on the road here this week. But I am going to say that the Detroit Lions finally pull off a win there at home against the Dolphins, get themselves a win there, and get back to putting some points on the board and get a victory.
Interesting. Yeah, the Dolphins didn't play as well as I thought they would last week.
Their defense is pretty good.
That's fair, but still.
Yeah, that's true.
We saw what the Bills did to the Steelers defense.
So I'm really torn. There are 2 games I really like the underdog in. And you know what? As long as Heineke is taking command in Washington, I think that they're going to beat the Colts.
Brendan, I had a feeling you and I have the same 2 in mind. And you know what? You took one, so I'll take my other one. I apologize for hopping in here. But how the heck are the Jets, the underdogs, baby? Give me
You
the
stole
milk
my line
hunter,
from
Zach
last week,
Wilson.
man.
Yeah, that was my other one.
I cannot believe that they're underdogs at home with the Patriots coming off that abysmal
Billy Zappi,
performance.
That right
baby.
there is a trap line right there.
Yeah, the total
Look,
trap line.
Also, I was this close to taking the other New Jersey team.
The Giants, are they underdogs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
To
on the
the
road.
Seahawks, right?
yeah, that's an absolute trap line.
So I actually had 2 games in mind, and you guys kind of called me out last week when I wasn't here and said I don't really I make too safe of picks. Both of these games I wouldn't call safe, and I don't know which one I'm leaning towards. I'll go ahead and tell you both of them, and I'm gonna make my pick as I describe both of them because I can see them both happening, and both of them have 2 of you guys pick the locks on the other side, so that makes it even more interesting. And that is my Carolina Panthers going over the Falcons.
Please take this one. Please make
And
that
the other one I was thinking through was the Bears over the Cowboys.
Take the Bears.
So now Brendan's telling me to take the Panthers. Aiden's telling me to take the Bears.
Take your team. You're wearing
Andrew,
the jersey.
I'm wearing the jersey.
PJ Walker
Andrew.
is him.
Andrew. But if you
Yeah.
take the Bears, you get to say the Bears.
I can say the Bears whenever I want to. I don't
Now,
have to
if you
say
take the
who I want.
Panthers, then we'll have all picked our teams this week.
This is
We
true.
will.
Go with
Yeah,
the
peer
Panthers.
pressure.
Do it.
It was my initial gut reaction to choose my Panthers over the Falcons
Go with your
because
gut.
I'm going with my gut. I'm going to choose the Panthers here.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
this gives Brendan a chance to take up a game on me in the standings.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe PJ Walker will just come out and shell him.
Is there a
I mean,
Panthers
how many
logo in there?
cornerbacks you guys got left?
Well, let's see.
Because they're
What's a
all injured,
cornerback?
right?
I think we have Hall and Oliver left.
No, Brendan. The correct answer to your question is what's a cornerback?
We're actually going to be moving Richie Grant to corner.
Is it Raheem
I don't
Morris
know,
your
but
guys'
probably that doesn't
Isn't
sound fun.
Raheem Morris still your guys' D?
I think so.
God.
I don't know.
So, on the heels of taking down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, the best QB in the NFC South last week, I'm clarifying last week, PJ Walker will come in, take advantage of the 0 cornerbacks that the Falcons have, beat the Falcons, watch the Bucs lose to the Ravens on Thursday night, and come out of week 8 atop the NFC South standings.
Wow.
Anyone got something I could
bad.
roll
I love
into?
The NFC South is the okay. I said this at the beginning of the year. The NFC South is the best division of football. But not because it's good.
It's the best to watch.
It is. There's something beautiful about bad football, right? Bad football is more entertaining than good football.
So my father-in-law lives in North Carolina. He's also a Carolina Panthers fan. I was texting him this week during the Panthers win, and at one point I reminded him this is looking like the year that the Panthers won the division at 7-8-1. Hey, they won a playoff game that year.
They did
over
They beat
the Cardinals.
They beat the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Who had Ryan Lindsley at quarterback.
No, Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
No. Carson Palmer was the primary. Carson Palmer was hurt. Drew Stanton backed him up, started most of the rest of the season, also got hurt, and then they had the third string.
I thought Palmer was back by the time the playoffs came around.
Nope. That was the next year that the Panthers beat him in the championship game to go to the Super Bowl.
I'll look that up later, and I'll add it in post.
Let's not do it now. Let's do it now.
Oh, you're gonna do it now? I was just gonna add it in post.
So, guys, I just read some breaking news on Twitter. Apparently, the Eagles are deep into talks with the New Orleans Saints for Pro Bowl running back Alvin Kamara.
Wow! And they just traded for Quinn today from the Bears.
Yes,
which
Ryan
is actually
Lindley. Woo! 16 for 28 for 82 yards.
Okay. I was wrong. Was that the year the Panthers were 7-8-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know the Panthers beat the Cardinals multiple times in the first round of playoffs. So I was probably just mixing up the years.
Yep, that was 2014.
Okay,
That was
fair
the year
enough.
that Cam Newton missed both Tampa Bay games after injuries. One of them a car crash.
Which he was very lucky to walk away from, honestly.
Yeah, he was.
That was a brutal scene. Anyway, beside the point. But yeah, the Eagles undefeated, making moves. Apparently, they got Quinn for a 4th round pick, which is insane because apparently someone offered the Panthers 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, which I don't know. That might have been the Eagles. You think?
Might have been,
because the Eagles have 2 first-round picks this year. So,
yeah.
But they declined that. So it's interesting that you think that was fair value for Quinn, or should they have given?
I think Quinn's worth a second
draft pick for the future.
I think Quinn's worth like a late second, early third.
Yeah, but
not at this stage.
No, I don't think he's worth that much. I would have said a third, especially since the Bears are eating most of the contract.
I mean, yeah, you're already paying him. If you're paying him, if he's on the roster or not. At this point in the Bears season, it really doesn't matter. Get some value. Someone offers you a 4th, take it.
Yeah, and that's like the one downside about me picking the Panthers to win and like ending up at the top of the division is because what are we gonna do if a quarterback after this year? If we actually is PJ Walker the answer? He's already 27.
You know what? I've said it twice. JR said it once. On Sunday. PJ Walker is him.
Right. I mean, he looked like it last week. He threw a couple of dimes for touchdowns, that's for sure.
You just got to keep pounding with PJ Walker. Just ride it and keep pounding.
I'm just gonna keep going. I don't have anything else. I will say the slate of games this week is a little bit more exciting to watch than last week.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, any final thoughts?
Who day?
Day about to get another win.
Probably.
Well, this has been another atop the NFC South next week.
All right, and the mute button is where?
Hey, if it goes based on the picks I made, that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
that is fair. Well, this has been another very exciting episode of Joe's on the Pros. We appreciate everyone joining us. Finally, I'm not the only other person to yawn in this recording session.
I've been yawning all night.
Oh, come on. Why do you got to call him out when we haven't said anything about you yawning during the episode?
Because every other week I get the joke about let's put a yawn counter up for Aiden. So this time I was finally able to call someone else out for it.
Yeah.
But it has been another great episode. Make sure to follow us down below on all the social links. Like, subscribe, comment, all that fun jazz. We appreciate everyone watching and listening. We will see you all next time. Have a great night and a great time wherever you're watching this. Go Bucks.
I don't know about you guys, but I love watching this show too.
Don't worry. We're not making you do all the work. You're only the editing. The rest of us are the talent. JR's face gets me every time.
Some live editing for you. He knows he's able to add himself back in whenever he wants.
Does he?
Yeah.
I just needed a minute. I needed that timeout.
By the way, Aiden, your face froze on like the perfect. Like, oh. That was great. All right, guys. I actually have. What?
Oh my God, JR just breaks me every time he does.
Oh, he did another freeze thing?
Yeah. And it's perfect because everything's stopped. It's not just his face. Everything. Complete and total freeze.
Well, he has a room where nothing's happening behind him. Unlike your room with the cats. Oh, man.